So this was a last week. This is a last week test paper about topic 1.2 motion. So in this session, I'll discuss this test paper with you and state how you should solve these questions. In the first question, there is a speed time graph which is shown for a car moving in a straight line. Look, whenever a speed time graph is given, what we can do, we can find the acceleration by using the formula or the gradient. If it is a straight line, if the graph is a straight line, then what we normally use, we directly use a formula. But if the speed time graph is a curve, first what we do, we will draw a tangent and then we will find the gradient of the tangent. So as you can see here, this speed time graph, this graph is a curve. So if it is a curve, how to get the acceleration or how to know the acceleration? The first thing what we'll do, we will draw a tangent. And second thing, what we'll do, we'll find the gradient. And the gradient, how to find the gradient? That is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So in this question, what is the acceleration of a car when time is equals to 40 seconds? So what we have to do, we have to draw a tangent when time is equals to 40. So I will mark a point where time is equals to 40, and when I draw the tangent, so in this case the tangent will be a straight line. Same way, for example, if the same question was there and they say that find the acceleration when time is equals to 30 seconds. So what you will do when time is equals to 30, like here, this is 30. But that 30 is in a straight part. So when it is in a straight part, you don't have to draw the tangent. You can use a formula and find the acceleration. But whenever it is curve, because at 40 seconds it is not a straight line, it is a curve. So what we do, we'll mark a point where time is equals to 40 and we will draw a tangent. So when we draw a tangent at this point, length of the tangent is up to you. Any length you can draw. So when we take the 2 points, the first point on y-axis is called y1 and the second point on y-axis is called y2. But because it is a horizontal line, so y1 and y2 will have the same value. So when we are working out the gradient, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, because y2 and y1 have the same value, it is a horizontal line, so 15 minus 15 divided by the time interval, and 15 minus 15 is 0. So if anything, 0 divided by anything is 0, so that's why the correct answer is A. Is it clear? Discussion 1. That why the acceleration of the car when time is equals to 40 seconds, it is 0. In the second question, two runners are taking part in the race. The graph shows how speed of each runner. So this is a speed time graph. What does graph show about the runner at time t? So any time t is there. What about speed? You can see both runner 1 and runner 2 have the same speed. The speed of runner 1 is same as speed of runner 2. On y-axis, like if these are the numbers, say 10, 20, 30 and so on. So when time is t, the runner 1 is having a speed of 20, runner 2 will also have the same speed. So what does the graph show about the runner at time t? Both runners are moving at the same speed. That's why A is the right answer. Is it clear? So you have to check the axis, the graph. So distance time graph, what slope represents? Slope represents speed. So when it is a straight line, when you check, it's a speed time graph. Runner 2 is not slowing down, runner 2 acceleration is decreasing. But it is not slowing down. Slowing down means speed should also decrease. When you check the values, like if you mark the axis, say this is 10, 20, 30 and so on. So you can clearly see that first it was having 10 meter per second, then 20 meter per second, then 22 meter per second. So speed is increasing, but the runner to acceleration is decreasing. And what is the meaning acceleration decreasing? Like first say it was moving with 10 meter per second, then it traveled with 20 meter per second, then it traveled 22 meter per second. So what is the acceleration here? Acceleration is 10 meter per second square, and what is the acceleration? That is 2 meter per second square. So acceleration or change in speed is decreasing, but the value of the speed is increasing. Is it clear, Abdullah Khan? If it was a distance time graph, then you can mention that the speed is decreasing. But because it is a speed time graph, for a speed time graph, the slope represents acceleration. Now, distance time graph, the slope represents the speed. From P to Q, it is a straight line. Whenever straight line, so it means it is constant slope, or we can say constant speed. When it is a horizontal line for a distance time graph, it means the speed is 0 or object is at rest, object is not moving. And again, there is a straight line. So whenever there is a straight line, again it will be a constant speed. But what is the difference between speed between P and Q? P and Q is constant and R and S is also constant. But what is the difference? This is a higher constant speed and this will be a lower constant speed. Means both speeds will be same. The speed will not change, but this will be a higher speed. Like if I say this speed from P to Q, it was 10 meter per second, but speed from R to S maybe 6 meter per second. But both cases the speed is constant. So from P to Q, speed is constant. From Q to R, speed is 0, and from R to S, speed is again constant. So constant, 0, constant, again A will be the right answer. Is it clear? Question 3. Then question 4. Distance time graph. A car is moving in a straight line with a constant acceleration. So when we explain the motion for a distance time graph, if there is a horizontal line, it means the object is at rest or the speed is 0. When a distance time graph, it is a straight line, what it shows? It shows it is a constant speed. When a speed time graph, a horizontal line means the speed is not changing. So it also means speed is constant. And when speed is constant, what about acceleration? The acceleration is 0 because acceleration means change in speed. This is also a constant speed, or we can also say 0 acceleration. And speed time graph, if it's a straight line with a constant slope, it means it is having a constant acceleration. So we have to find a uniform or constant acceleration. That is why D is the right answer. Is it clear, question 4? If any question you are not able to understand or you want me to repeat, just let me know in a chat so I will repeat. A runner runs 300 meter with an average speed of 3 meter per second. she then run 300 meter with an average speed of 6 meter per second. What is our average speed for the total 600 meters? So what happened? First, a runner runs 300 meters with a speed of 3 meter per second. Then remaining 300 meters, another 300 meters with a speed of 6 meter per second. We have to find the average speed to run this total 600 meters. The average speed is the total distance, because total distance is 600. So basically what we need the total time to run this 600 meter. So what is the time to run first 300 meter? So time is equal, speed is distance divided by time. So time is distance divided by speed. So here distance is 300 and speed is 3. So 300 divided by 3. It will take 100 seconds to run the first 300 meters. Then when we calculate the time to run the remaining 300 meters, so 300 divided by 6, that is equals to 50 seconds. So it is taking 100 seconds to run 300 first 300 and remaining 50 seconds to run another 300. So total time it will take to run this, that is 150 second. And we need the average speed. Average speed is the total distance of the journey divided by total time. So total distance is 600 divided by total time is 150. So 600 divided by 150. So B will be the right answer. Is it clear? In question 6, the velocity of an object increases from 30 to 50. So 30 is the starting speed, 50 is the final speed, and it took 5 seconds. We have to calculate the average acceleration, total acceleration. So what is the average acceleration or total acceleration? The formula to calculate acceleration, it is final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. The final velocity is 50, the initial velocity is 30, and the time it took 5, so divided by 5. So 50 minus 30, that is 20, and 20 divided by 5, so it will be equal to 4 meter per second square. So C will be the right answer. So when speeds are given and you want to calculate the acceleration, it will be a change in the velocity divided by time interval. In question 7, a car travels at an average speed of 60 km per hour for 15 minutes. How far does the car travel in 15 minutes? So we have the speed and we have the time, but as you can see, the speed is in kilometer per hour, but the time is in minutes. So time should always also be in the same unit, as because if speed is in kilometer per hour, the time should be in hours as well. So how to convert the minutes into hours? So we will divide by 60. So it will be 15 divided by 60, which is equals to 1 by 4 or 0.25. So 0.25 hours we have, and now we need the distance. So we have the formula, speed is equals to distance divided by time. So we need distance. It will be speed multiplied by time. So speed is given 60 kilometer per hour and the time in hours is 0.25. So it will travel 15 kilometers. Is it clear? This is question 7. Look, if you read the question, they mention the speed. Speed is given in kilometer per hour, but the time is given in minutes. This is the speed, but the time is in minutes. So time should also, because if speed is in kilometer per hour, time should be in hour. If speed is in meter per second, then time should be in second. So we'll convert minutes into hours, and how we can convert minutes into hours? We'll divide by 60. So 15 divided by 60, how many? It will be 0.25 hours. Now we have the formula to the speed is equals to distance divided by time. We need the distance. So speed multiplied by time is equals to distance. The speed of the object is 60 kilometer per hour and the time is 0.25 hours. So when you multiply 60 with 0.25, you will get 15 kilometers. And you can also solve in a short way even without a formula. Look, what does it mean? 60 kilometer per hour means like 60 kilometer it will travel in 1 hour. 1 hour means 60 minutes. So if 60 kilometers travel in 60 minutes or 1 hour, so in 15 minutes, how much distance it would travel? X. You can cross multiply. You will also get the same result. In question 8, this is a speed time graph. The graph shows how the speed of the car changes with time, between which two time the car is stationary. Stationary means the speed should be 0. So from between u and v, first it was constant acceleration, and then because it is a curve, slope is decreasing, and then it is a decreasing acceleration. From v to u, it is a constant speed. Speed is not changing, or we can say zero acceleration. From W to X, as you can see, it is decelerating. Decelerating means speed is decreasing. But from X to Y, speed is 0 because it is on the axis. There is no value for the speed, or speed is 0. If speed is 0, it means the object is at rest or it is stationary. That's why D is the right answer. Is it clear? Question 8. In question 9, a car moves at a constant speed, then constant acceleration. So constant speed, what is the meaning of speed? Speed time graph with a constant speed? It means it should be a horizontal line above the origin. And constant acceleration or uniform acceleration for a speed time graph in which the speed is changing with a constant rate. So it will be a straight line from origin. So it should be a horizontal line first, which shows it's a constant speed. And then when constant speed, acceleration is 0. And then a straight line, what does it show? Its speed is increasing, but this is called constant acceleration. That's why C is the right answer. Is it clear? Question 9. So first we need a constant speed, so that's why horizontal line, and constant acceleration means it should be a straight line with a constant angle, which shows that acceleration is constant. In question 10, a car travel 100 kilometers and it take 2 hours. Look, for average speed, you don't have to bother about what were the highest speed and what is the lowest speed. To get the average speed, what is the formula to get the average speed? It is a total distance divided by the total time. The total distance, that is 100 kilometer, and the total time for the journey is 2 hours. So 100 divided by 2, it will be 50 kilometer per hour. So B will be the right answer. So we don't have to bother about what is the highest speed and what is the lowest speed, because to calculate the average speed, we only need two things. One is the total distance of the journey, and the second is the total time to complete the journey. In question 11, a man standing by a railway track, the train traveling at 40 meter per second, and it takes 2 seconds to pass the man. What is the length of the train? Basically, the length of a train or distance, because this train, as it crosses the man, so the distance traveled by the train is actually equal to the length of the train. So when this train crosses the man, so the distance which the train travel is actually equal to the length of a train when it passes. So we need the distance traveled by the train, and how to get the distance? We have the speed and we have time. So we have the formula, speed is equals to distance divided by time. So distance will be speed multiplied by time. Speed is 40 and the time is 2, so 40 multiplied by 2. So the length of this train is 80 meters. Is it clear? Question 11. Which distance time graph represent the motion of an object at a constant speed? This is representing change, because the slope is increasing, so this is representing change in speed. This is also representing the speed is changing, change in speed, or we can also say acceleration. This is representing that object is at rest or speed is 0, and this one is representing a constant speed in which the slope is constant, so D will be the right answer. So the term constant or uniform is same. In question 13, the graph shows how the speed of a car changes, which calculation give a distance. So distance from a speed time graph, the area under the graph, the area of the graph will give us the distance. So what area is there under the graph? What is the shape of this? So it is making a triangle. So when it is making a triangle, so you have to use area of the triangle, which is half. What about the base? The base of the triangle start from 0 and ending at 24. So it will be 24. And what about the height of the triangle? It is 14. So it will be 24 multiplied by 14 divided by 2. So which one is the right answer? C is the right answer. Is it clear? Question 13. So whenever there's a speed time graph, you will use the area under the graph to calculate the distance traveled. The graph represents the motion of the car. What is the distance travel when it is moving at a constant speed? So first we have to identify the region of constant speed. This is not constant speed, this is constant acceleration. This part, this is deceleration. This part is a constant speed where the speed is not changing. So basically we only need area of the constant under the constant speed, because they're asking calculate the distance travel by a car when it is moving at a constant speed. So what shape it is making? It is making a rectangle. So we'll use area of the rectangle, that is length multiplied by width. So what is the length of this rectangle? It is starting from 15 and ending at 25. So this total length is equals to 10. And what about the height? So it starts from 0 and ending at 10. So that is also 10. So we'll get 10 multiplied by 10, which is equals to 100 meters. So A will be the right answer. Is it clear? For example, if they ask calculate the distance travel when it is accelerating, like the same question was there when it is having a constant acceleration instead of constant speed. So in that case, what we do, we'll only take the acceleration part. So we'll take only this region. So what shape it will make? It will make a triangle, and we'll use area of the triangle. Then question 15. A car travel along a route PQ, RS and T in 30 minutes. What is the average speed? All the speed are in kilometer per hour. So we should convert this time minutes into hours. So we'll divide by 60. So when we 30 divide by 60, that's equal to 0.5 hour. We need average speed. What is average speed? The average speed is equals to the total distance divided by the total time. So what is the total distance? 10 plus 5, 15 plus 10, 25 and plus 10, 30. So total distance travel is equal to 30 kilometers. What about total time? That is equals to 0.5 hours. So 30 divided by 0.5, what we'll get? We'll get 60 kilometer per hour. And it is obvious, like if in 30 minutes or half hour, it covered 30 kilometer. So in complete hour, in 1 hour, it will cover remaining 30. So the total distance covered will be 60 kilometers. So the speed is 60 kilometer per hour. Is it clear? Question 15, MCQ. Anyone having a doubt from 1 to 15? Any question you want me to repeat? Then we'll move on to the structure questions. Question 2. In question 2, this is a speed time graph. When it's a speed time graph, for runner 1, it is a dotted line and it is a straight line. So what does it mean? It means runner 1 is having a constant acceleration. And what about runner 2? Runner 2 acceleration is decreasing. What is the meaning of acceleration decreasing? It means like first it was speed was 10 meter per second, then it is 20 meter per second, then it is 22 meter per second. So you can clearly see the first acceleration is 10 and then the acceleration is 2. In option D, they are saying runner 2 is slowing down. That's wrong. Why it is wrong? Because you can see the value of the speed is increasing. If I use the number like this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So when you check the value for of the speed, it was 5 for runner 2, then it become 10, 15, 20. So it is continuous, the speed is continuously increasing. That's why it cannot be D. And the correct answer is A, that at this point, both runners have the same value of the speed. Is it clear, Abdullah? Abdullah Sarfraz. Slowing down does not depend on acceleration. Slowing down depends on speed. If they say deceleration, if it was decelerating, like if the graph was like this, a speed time graph, because to slow down, speed time graph, it should be like this, that the speed is decreasing. So here speed is not decreasing, speed is increasing, but the change in the speed is decreasing. Then the structure question 1. In this question, an astronaut on the moon drops a feather from rest. So if something is dropped from rest, what is the starting speed? 0. of the top of small cliff, the acceleration due to gravity on the moon is 1.6. So acceleration on the moon, and there's no air on the moon atmosphere. The feather hit the fall. The feather falls for 4.5 seconds before it hits the ground. On the figure, draw a speed time graph for the falling feather. So how we can work out the speed time graph? First, we'll find the speed. What is the final speed after 4.5 seconds? So we have the formula: acceleration is final speed minus initial speed divided by time. Acceleration on the moon is 1.6. Final speed we don't know. Initial speed is 0. And the time interval is 4.5. This 4.5 is divided. Other side it will be multiplied. So 1.6 multiplied by 4.5. What will be the result for this? 7.2. So means the final speed is 7.2. And you can see the starting speed is 0. So it is the starting speed is 0 and the final speed after 4.5 second, that is 7.2. So each box is representing 0.2. So 6.2, 6.4, 6.6, 6.8, and this is 7, and then 7.2. After 7, one box will be 7.2. So 7.2 and 4.5. So this is the final speed. So final speed is 7.2 meter per second and initial speed is 0 meter per second. And it is having a constant acceleration. So whenever a constant acceleration is there for a speed time graph, what will be the shape of the graph? It will be a straight line which shows a constant acceleration, and we worked out the speeds as well. Is it clear? Is it clear how we sketch a graph? Because first what we did, we got the final speed. How we got the final speed? Using a formula for acceleration, which is a change in velocity divided by time. So the time multiplied by acceleration, we got the final speed. So final speed is 7.2 when time is 4.5 and initial is 0, and it is a constant acceleration. So whenever object is moving at a constant acceleration, it should be a straight line. The second part, we need a distance. So how we can calculate a distance? So what we do, because we already have the graph, so we'll draw a vertical line on x-axis. Now what shape it is making? So what is the shape of this graph? The area. So it is making a triangle. Now to get the distance for a speed time graph, whenever we want a distance, we always find the area. Area is always equals to the distance. So what about area? Because it is a triangle, so half base multiplied by height. What about base? It is starting from 0 and ending at 4.5. So base is 4.5 and height is 7.2. So when you multiply these numbers, 4.5 multiplied by 7.2, and that is divided by 2, so which is equals to 16.2 meters. Yeah, 32.4 divided by half. Not divide by half. Look, divided by 2 or multiplied by half. You can say, because half base into height, or you can say 0.5 base multiplied by height. So it is 4.5 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 7.2. So that is 32.4, and 32.4 divided by 2. It is equals to 16.2 meters. Is it clear, this question? Both parts. In first one, we have to complete a graph. The second one, we have to calculate the distance. So by using the area, we'll get the distance. Then this question, a bus travel at a constant speed, then stops. So, and then travel at a higher constant speed. So this is a constant speed. So first the bus travel at a constant speed, then it stopped. When it stopped for a short time. So when they say short time, you don't have to extend the line because x-axis is a time interval. So time interval should be a shorter one. And then it travel at a higher constant speed. So how we can represent a higher constant speed? So we'll draw a line, a straight line, but with a greater slope. So these two, this is a constant speed, this one is also a constant, but the difference between the two constant speed, the first one is a smaller or lower constant speed, but the second one is a higher constant speed. Then in this question, find the total distance traveled. So how to get the total distance traveled? It is making a trapezium. So for trapezium, it is sum of the parallel side divided by 2, half sum of the parallel side, and multiplied by height. So what are the parallel side of this trapezium? This is A, this one is B, and the distance between them is H. So it is starting, when you check, this is 5, 6, 7 and 7.5. So this is 7.5, and so it is starting at 7.5 and ending at 20. So 7.5 minus 20, so it will be equal to 13.5 because we need this distance which is starting from 7.5. Sorry, 12.5 will be there, not 13. So 7.5 starting at 7.5 and ending at 20, so this will be 12.5. And what about this one? It's starting from 0 and ending at 25. So this was 7.5 and this is 20, so total is 12. Starting from 0 and ending at 25, so this will be 25. And what is the height? When you check the height, each is representing 0.1. So this will be 3.1, 3.2 and 3.3. So height is 3.3. So we'll substitute half sum of the parallel sides. So one of the side is 12.5, the other parallel side is 25 and multiplied by height, which is 3.3. So it will be 12.5 times 25 divided by 2 and then multiplied by 3.3. So it is 61.8, that's right. So 61.8, which is approximately equal to 62. So in marking scheme it is written 62, but the actual answer is the correct answer, means of in terms of significant figure 61.8 is also is the right answer. Is it clear? Question 3. I'll share another link and discuss the remaining two questions. Anyone having a doubt?